Hi, this is Anna from Studio 300, and I'm here as part of the Teen Crafternoon series, and today we are going to be making a no-sew fleece pillow. So the supplies you are going to need are filling, material, and a very sharp pair of scissors and a ruler. So let's get started. Alright, to start this project, you need to start with 2 pieces of same size fabric. So I have this awesome Catacavo fabric that I actually picked up as a remnant at Joann's, so you don't have to spend a lot of money on material. Fleece does work the best because it doesn't have as much pull on it. So this piece is roughly 15 inches by 12 inches. So you can make this pillow any size that you want. Just remember that you're going to have your little fleecy parts are going to be 2 inches. So how I start this is I take my ruler and I measure 2 inches. And I start my cut from here. And then I check the other side. Basically, I'm just cutting 4 squares out on each corner. This doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be close. Any mistakes you made, they're pretty easy to hide. So I'm going to do that on all 4 corners. So I'm actually going to use one of my extra pieces and use that to kind of as a guide. So I'm using fabric shears. So these are very, very sharp. If you have a pair of fabric shears, never cut anything but fabric with them. So it's kind of a crime against nature if you do. But it makes cutting fabric a lot easier if you have a pair of fabric shears. Something that you just cut fabric with. Alright, so now I have basically like this very small cross on it. So now I'm actually going to go ahead and cut my fringes. So the fringes, the smaller they are, the easier they are to tie. But you don't want to do too many and too few. So I just go ahead and start, and I find that about, let's say 1 millimeter, so we're going to go metric on you guys, but about 1 millimeter thick seems to work really good. So I'm just going to go start doing this, and I'm going to do that all the way around. You want to cut it with the pieces together, that way you know that you have the even amount. Like I said, if it's not perfectly matched with the other one, just try to get it close because it's not super obvious in the finished project. Just keep going. Alright. And you're going to do that all the way around. Alright, now that I have fringed all 4 sides, I'm actually going to start doing the tying. So what I do is I start on whatever I decide is the bottom of the piece. So this is my bottom right here. And I always start on the corners. So I'm going to just take it, and I'm basically just going to do a double knot. So I'm just tying, pulling, and then I'm going to tie it one more time. So that's my first corner. Then I'm going to start along the bottom. And we're going to go about a third of the way through. Just keep going. Let me give you a close-up of how to do the tie. So it's just grab both pieces and tie. And do it once. So if the pieces are kind of short, it's a little harder to tie, but it is possible. So I always try to stick to the 2 inches long. So I'm going to go about a third the way through. Because what you want to do is you want to leave a hole at the bottom so that you can stick the fluff in. So I'm going to do that. Alright, so that's one side. Now I'm going to move over to the other side. Do the same thing. Okay. Once I do that, then I will actually start by going around the entire piece. So I'm just going to completely knot all the rest of this and leave this bottom part open so that I can put the polyfill in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be back. So now I've tied it all the way around and I just have the hole at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and it's time to stuff it. So I'm just going to take polyfill and fill it up. So if you don't have polyfill, you can actually use fabric scraps, yarn, or whatever soft and fluffy thing. You could use beans. Be careful because the holes aren't kind of big on the sides, so it's not as tight as if you sewed it. So that you can actually make a blanket the same way. You just cut out a bigger piece of fabric. So I'm going to get lots of fluff in it. This is a pretty small pillow. I usually make them a little bigger. So, and lots and lots of fluff. Fluff, fluff, fluff. So I get it all nice and stuffed, and then I make sure all my fringes are on the outside. And there's 4 of them. So they're all ready to go, and now I'm just going to tie them. So 1. If you miss one and you can't miss one of the tabs or the fringes, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. Just try to tie it so you don't have any big gaps in your pillow. So that way then the fluff won't come out. And the last one. And I'm done. So the last thing I'm going to do is kind of pull all my knots to make sure that I can kind of get them square. And I'm just going to kind of move the fabric around. And I have a little cat avocado pillow. And thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this project. If you decide to make this project, hopefully you'll share it, and you can share it at fountaindale.org/crafternoons or on social media using #FountaindaleLib. If you would like to see more events like this, you can go to fountaindale.org/events. Have a great day.